and welcome back to a Gran Turismo time trial here at Grand Valley in the brand new car that has arrived in Gran Turismo 7, the Lancia Delta Integrale. So we're at Grand Valley South, for those wondering, that's a shorter circuit. Racing medium tyres. I'll put this as easy. The track limits are actually off, believe it or not, so the white lines do not count in this one. You can actually go over them, which is actually nice to see. But be careful of those track resets. 1 minute 12.7 is my goal estimate here. I did see more time in my lap, however, I couldn't get it done, and then we had to take the baby for some vaccinations. If you do enjoy this video, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But without further ado, let's kick off this time trial and let me show you how to do it. So stay in 5th gear, do not go to 6th gear, there is no point, it's faster in 5th. As we head towards turn number 1. We have the boards on the left-hand side. Last of the late breakers is the 200 board, okay? However, if you are struggling to get the car stopped using 200 board, just break it to 300. This isn't in meters, it's a smaller distance. So use the 300 if you are struggling. However, I use the 200 here. I'm going to go hard on the brakes now. I'm going to drop to 3rd gear, and then I'm going to start to release the brakes. And then let the car roll a little bit there. Notice I was just on the brakes a little bit, just trying to slow the car down. And then we're looking for this accelerating marker here, which is the sand going into the concrete there. Really good marker. I've gone up to 4th gear here on acceleration. Very much recommended here. It's a H box, so there is a bit of a delay there with changing. And as we come out of there, the turbo kicks in as well, and we can fire out of there. I'm going to head down here then. I did short shift a tiny bit there. I did feel that was helpful here in the Lancia. Now, as we get to this point here going down the hill, as the white line goes straight, this is your turning marker, but also dab the brake marker. You are going to have to slow this car down just a little bit. You're over 120 miles an hour here. You need to get down to around 102 miles an hour. So 20 miles an hour cut off. So that sort of means a little bit of braking, as you can see right now. Try and keep the car straight as you do that as we continue on through here. I abuse track limits there like crazy because I want to get prepared for this right-hander. So you got the blue sign on the left, or as you join or hit the white line again here, what you're going to do now is dab the brakes and drop to 4th gear, okay? You want to go to 4th gear for this corner. Highly recommend that. Now, you see that I stayed in 5th. 4th gear is better, trust me. You'll see that on some of my overlaps. Now, we've got this. This isn't my marker, by the way. This is a marker I'm picking out for you. Last bit of grass on the right-hand side. Brake before you get to that point in terms of the edge of the screen. And then you're going to drop to, well, I've dropped to 4th gear here, but sometimes you'll drop to 3rd gear as we turn into this corner. Be careful about hitting the inside there. And then when we get to this left-hander, we've got the fence on the right-hand side, and we should be in 3rd gear at this point. We're going to hit the brakes. Now, on some other laps, I tried dropping to 2nd. It actually did help on VR, but I'm not sure how much is going to help here. However, I'm going to stay in 3rd in this scenario. So, we'll hit the brakes as we go into here, let the car roll a little bit, and then accelerate out of the corner. You really want to try and get the car rotated a little bit if you can. Avoid sliding the car. That will slow you down massively. So we're going to head towards this right-hander then. You've got the sign on the left, or as the white line veers away from the circuit. This is your turning marker, and you will want to just dab the brakes a little bit, okay? You want to try and carry as much speed as possible and let the car scrub the speed rather than you using the brake pedal. But you are going to have to dab the brakes a little bit, okay? So watch what I do right here. I turn in. I'm just braking that a little bit. Let the car roll. Accelerate a little bit. And on the left-hand side, you have a yellow sign. This is your brake marker for the left-hander. You're going to go to 3rd gear for this one. Now, there is a technique where you go into the previous corner, and as you go through it, letting the car roll, you drop to 3rd gear. I did try that in VR, and it did help as well. So just putting that tip out there. Even so, we're going to 3rd gear here, and we're trail braking. Then we instantly accelerate out of this corner, and we're going to go out wide a little bit, okay? And we have this arm coat into stone wall on the left-hand side. That is your brake marker. You're going to dab the brakes, and what I highly recommend you do here, let the car roll through the corner. You may want to dab the brakes again, middle of this, and then go up to 4th gear. You want to be in 4th gear on the exit. So that's what I'm going to do now. I noticed that I got up to 4th, and then accelerate out of the corner. It get very close to the wall, but I don't understeer into it as we continue on out of there now. So we are going to stay in 5th gear all the way to the line, and that is a lap in the Lancia Delta Integrale. Now, I did say some gears there were different to what I showed you. That's because I did this lap first, and then went and did the vaccinations, and then came back and then did some more, and I felt like there was some different improvements I could make. So here we are with the pad then. 200 board is our brake marker as we turn in. Release the brakes up to 4th gear, accelerate through the corner when I get to the sand and concrete marker. We continue on down here then, and we're going to go towards the left-hand side then, over as far left as possible. As it goes straight then, dab the brakes, over to the right-hand side, let the car roll a little bit, trail braking as well, accelerate through the corner, abuse track limits there, then 4th gear as we go through here. That's what I was trying to explain. Then we're going to drop to 3rd gear, And again, trying to keep the car as stable as possible, then down into this left-hander. Now, I stay in third gear on this particular lap of VR. I went to second, and I will demonstrate that on the VR lap. We continue on out of there then, and as the track veers away here, or the sign, we then hit the brakes a little bit, let the car roll through here, then we're going to hit the brakes again at the other sign, and then drop to third gear. Through we go, out wide a little bit, stone wall there, hit the brakes, try and get it rotated. On the pad, it's really difficult to get it rotated there, so yeah, I do have to brake that a little bit more in order to transfer that weight to get it round. I did find that the pad does suffer a little bit with understeer, more so than the wheel on this one, because on the wheel you are chucking that weight about and you can't do that as much on a controller. So just keep that in mind. You might have to just brake that a little bit more in places. Even so, that's an 11.288 there, so you know it's possible. What we're going to do now is jump to chase cam here. So remember, the 200 board there is our brake marker. We turn into here then. Where's the sand? There it is as we accelerate through. ABS is on weak for those wondering. All the details are actually in the description for everything that you would need to know. We're going to head down here then, over towards the left-hand side. As the white line goes straight, we're going to hit the brakes and go towards the right-hand side. But try to keep the car as stable as possible and straight as possible there. Cut the track here, and as you rejoin the track there, you're going to hit the brakes. So we should be in third gear at this point. There it is, and on the fence on the right side is our brake marker. We turn in, we clip the inside, nothing major. You can go over this white line absolutely fine. It will not give you a track limit penalty or invalidate your lap. Over towards left hand side, then the sign there, good marker. Turn in fourth gear, just trail brake a tiny bit, accelerate through. We're going to hit the brakes, drop to third gear, over towards the left hand side. There is the arm coated stone. Wait till we get to that point, hit the brakes, get it rotated up to fourth gear, and accelerate through there, and then continue on towards the line. There's a lot to think about on this lap, but I actually think this lap is really fun. This is a fun time trial in my opinion. It's nice to use the Lancia Delta Integrale, and this track we don't use very often either, and it is quite technical but fun at the same time. So yeah, I highly rate this time trial. Right, let's go to VR then, because I did say I did a few things differently in VR. Here we go then. So we're looking for the 200 board. Where is it? There it is. Hit the brakes, drop into third gear as we go through here. Going to short shift to fourth gear right now. Accelerate out of the corner. Absolutely not a problem here in VR. So we're going to head down the hill now. So we should be in fifth gear. There we go. Over towards the left-hand side. As it goes straight, we're going to hit the brakes. Over towards the right, then trying to carry the speed as much as we can. We do cut a lot more than on all the other laps. We cut here, down to fourth gear. Trying to accelerate through here a little bit. Brake third gear now as we go into here. And as we get to this point here, notice I go to second there. For me, it does help the rotation a little bit, so you might want to try that, and then I'll short shift to third on the exit, because the third gear is what I need. We're up to fourth now. The sign on the left-hand side, really good marker here if we are. So we dab the brakes a little bit, try and carry as much speed as we can. We drop to third gear in the middle of the corner. Like I said, you can do that as we go towards the final corner. Then there's the stone wall. We hit the brakes, get it rotated up to fourth gear, accelerate out of here then, and it's much easier to see in the tunnel on VR because it adjusts accordingly. We're going to head towards the line then. This is also a 0.2, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. Just looking down at my sectors there, I see a 0.5, and I think it was 19.0. So I need to work on my sector 2 a little bit in VR, I would say then. And as we get towards that line, it's a 0.2 there. So my sector 3 also needs some work as well. But you can see there, 0.2 on pad, 0.2 on VR, and I'm in 1 minute 10.9 on the wheel. Happy days. So to get there, you go to sport mode in that top right-hand side. You then get presented this screen. We're going to head over to online time trials on the right-hand side. We press into that then, and we have 3 time trials currently. I want to select the middle one right there, because that's the one we are doing a video on. And then you can see on the top left-hand side, the gold, silver, bronze time. So if you make it inside those times, you get that amount of credits. Those times will continue to adjust based on the rank 1 on leaderboard, which currently is Chafe there. We're down in P4 right now. We did get world record temporarily until I disappeared, so I kind of like that. And you can check out my replay by clicking play replay like that. Or check it out on the leaderboard and hitting load ghost, and then you can follow my ghost as well. A really fun time trial, this one. The main tip here, don't get oversteering this car. Try and keep it straight and true, and short shift where appropriate, except on the straights where you remain in 5th gear. That's going to be it for me though, folks, with this time trial. If you have enjoyed this, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. I really do appreciate all the support. Today's patch video is there on the left-hand side, and last week's time trial is on the right-hand side, so you can check out that right there. Do check out my partners down below, including the Coach Dave Academy Delta, and the Delta Laps are in a pinned comment as well. Thank you as always for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.